we are talking about constructors, basically constructors are used for the initialization of the object. Constructors are used to create the object, and whenever we want to create object of any class, then it is required to use a constructor. So the constructor means it will construct something. It will construct an object. Basically, the constructors are a special kind of methods, or we can say special kind of functions, and they do not return anything. They do not return even void, and the name of the class and the name of the constructor always remains the same. And there are two types of constructors, that is default constructor and parameterized constructor. So now I'm just coming towards the program related to this, then we will discuss the further concepts in this slide. So I will also cover the related program, so it would be beneficial. And so as I'm talking about classes and constructor concept, so whenever we are taking any other class, like whenever we use a scanner class, we always create the object of scanner class then also. So similarly, when we are having multiple classes in a single program, then also we do the same. We create objects of those class. So I'm just going to create a class here. I'm taking addition. Addition I have already taken. I'm taking add. Okay. So here I'm taking this add class, and now we will create two different classes here, and we will work with them. So now what I'm going to do, first of all, I will create a class. Suppose I'm creating a class sum. For example, I'm creating a class sum. Okay, it is taking that only. Okay, fine. Class sum, as soon as I've taken, it is taken the file name also, no problem. And this will be containing the main function. But I am having another class also in this program that is known as addition. And this addition class, or we can say add class, there is a class add, and this add class is having a constructor. Suppose it is having two variables a and b, and it is having a constructor, and constructor is this function which does not return any value. So we will not use any void or any return type here, but you can see the name of this class and name of this constructor, this function is same, because it is a constructor. And what is it? It is a default constructor. So default constructor. So default constructor it is. And why we use the constructor? Basically, constructors are used for the initialization. So constructor are used for the initialization. You can see the third point, used for the initialization of user defined data types. So the user defined data type which we are taking in our program is a and b. These are the data types like variables which we are taking, and these are instance variables. So we have talked about the instance variable yesterday. So these are the instance variable, and now I am initializing these instance variable in this particular class constructor. After that, I'm taking a method add, and this method add, basically I'm taking a variable s, and now this s variable is local to function, so it is local variable. So this is the local variable because this variable we are taking inside the function. So s equals to a plus b I have taken, and now I'm taking system.out.println, and I'm printing addition plus s. Okay, fine. So this class is a complete class where we are having a function also. This is a function. This is a normal method, or we can say function or method. Both are same. Method. This is a method, and this is a constructor. This is basically the default constructor, because the name of this class and this constructor is same, and it is not also returning any value, like it is not taking void also. That means it is a constructor, and we are initializing these instance variables inside it. Now we would like, we are having two classes. This is our another class, and this is our main class, because the name of the file is with this name. So I'm taking public static void main, and I'm taking string args. And what I will do now, like we have to make addition from this particular class in this class. So what I will do, I will take this add, and I'm creating an object of this add. And yes, this is the default constructor. Similarly, as we do for the scanner class, if you remember what we do for the scanner class, we take a scanner, we take the object name, suppose sc I'm taking, equals to new scanner. This we do when we are taking the scanner class. Okay, so here also we have taken, this is the name of the class, this is the name of the constructor, this constructor is here now, and this is the default constructor. So in the scanner class also, this was the default constructor. Anyhow, we are not using this here, but I was just telling to remind you. Now why we have created the object of this particular class? Because we want to access the things which are inside this particular class. Like this add method is here and I just want to make the addition. So I'm accessing ob dot add. So this ob dot add I have called. What I am doing, we are calling the method. We are calling the method with the help of dot operator. So this was our main class, and this is our another class. And in this class, we are basically doing the addition, and that we are calling here. So I'm just going to compile it, and when we are having multiple classes, then this kind of things are done. So now I'm just going to run this. Okay. So now you can see it is displaying addition equals to 30 as we have taken A equals to 10 and B equals to 20. That's why. So it is giving the right output. So similarly, like this one. So this was the default constructors. Now what we have studied here in the presentation, we have seen that there are two types of constructors. First one is the default constructor and another one is the parameterized constructor. So the parameterized constructor is basically having the parameters. And parameters are also known as arguments. So I'm just going to create one program for rectangle. And in this rectangle program, I will demonstrate it how to work with the parameterized constructor and what does it exactly mean. So here the main class would be class rectangle and okay. So now I'm just taking public static void main and string args. Okay. After that, now I'm just going to create another class. I'm creating another class rect. Okay, this class I'm creating, and in this class we will just calculate the area of rectangle. And for that I am taking int l and I am taking length and breadth. Okay, so these are instance variables. These are instance variables. Now I'm taking rect. This is the constructor, and now what we will take? We will take parameterized, or we can say argumented. Okay, when we are having parameters, that is arguments, then it is called parameterized constructor. Okay, so now we will pass the constructors also, like parameters also. I'm taking l and b, sorry, int b. So we are taking two variables because we have to initialize. The working of constructor is the initialization of user defined variables. So I'm just going to initialize them. Here I am initializing length and breadth. Like in the previous example, we were having two variables and we were not having any parameters. But this time we are having parameters. So what will happen? As soon as I will create the object of this rect class, what will happen? This L will be assigned to length and the value of B will be assigned to breadth. Now I'm going to take a function, and this function will be having a return type value also. Like before this, we were taking void. So void means nothing. That means we are not going to return anything. We are not returning anything. But when we are taking int, like it means we are returning an integer value. So I'm taking a method named as area. So int area I'm taking, and now I am going to, when we are using this int, like that means it is going to return something. So what it will return? We will just take length into breadth. Now you can see this length breadth is available in this particular class, and inside this class we are having the values of length and breadth, and also the method we are having the same class. So because these all things are in the same class, the value of this length breadth could be accessed here properly without any problem. So this return keyword is used whenever we are having some return type here. Okay, then we will use this return keyword. Now whenever we use this return, like let me tell you, these were I have not taken any local variable here. Like in the previous example, I have already told you the local variable. This time I'm just going to create rect r equals to new rect, the object. Now because we are having a parameterized constructor, that's why we will just pass some values, the parameters. So this rect and this rect are similar, and this rect and this rect is similar. Okay, this is the name of the class and this is the name of the constructor. So we are passing 4 comma 2. Why? Because we are having here two variables. Those are of integer kind. So as soon as we have created this object of rect class, these values would be assigned here, and then it would be assigned to length and breadth, and then it would be possible to calculate the area. But how? As it is returning something, we have to take some variable to store it. So I'm taking r dot area. So with the help of the object of rect class, we would be able to access this area method, and right to left it would be assigned to this a. So the value of the calculated area would be assigned to variable a, then we can just print it here. System.out.println, and I'm just printing area of rectangle, and rectangle. Okay, so I'm just checking a. Okay, so this way we can calculate the area also, and according with the help of parameterized constructor we have done this. So now I'm just going to compile and run it. So you can see it is coming 8, which is correct, because we have taken 4 and 2 the values. Now I am coming towards my slide again, and the like we have discussed these two also. So next one is, so constructor overloading is here. So when we talk about constructor overloading, as we have already seen constructor, and what is the main objective of a class, we basically use the concept of object oriented programming, or we can say we use the concept of classes and object, just because one class could have multiple objects. Like I was talking about Edgel pen, so there are multiple Edgel pen in the market, and they all belong to the Edgel class. Similarly, if we are having a student class, so there must be multiple students and they all belong to the student class. So when we want to create multiple objects of a single class, at that time the concept of constructor overloading arises. If I want to create multiple objects of a single class, then we have to use constructor overloading. So constructors are the chunk of codes used to initialize new object. Yes, we have seen that. If we want to provide more than one constructor in a class, each one must have a different signature. Signature means parameter list. That is the meaning of signature. Constructors always have the name of the class and no return type. Yes, we know this very well. Overloaded constructors allow appropriate initialization of object on creation depending on the constructor invoked. That I will tell you with the program. So coming here to the programming portion again. So again I'm taking rectangle 2, I'm taking the name of the class. So here I will explain the concept of constructor overloading. Suppose the main class is rectangle 2. Okay, so this would be having the main function, that is public void main, and string args. After that, so here I have taken a class rect, and here also I have taken two variables similar to the previous program, but this time we will take overloaded constructors. So here I'm just going to take a rect, and here I have taken int x. Suppose I have taken a single variable. Now we have to take multiple constructors in the same class. So this time I am taking len equals to breadth equals to x. This we have initialized. Now again, because the working of constructor is to do the initialization, that's why we have to do the same thing again and again, but the signature list should be different, like the parameter list. So when we are talking about the constructor overloading, so it is necessary same class, same name, and different parameter list. So you can see we are having the constructors in the same class with the same name, but they are having different parameter list. So this way, now I'm just going to create a method. I'm taking void area again, and this time we will access this area method with the help of both of the constructors. Okay, so I'm just taking int a equals to like int a I'm taking, then we will take or we can take it directly here also. Int a equals to len into breadth, and then we will just print system dot out dot print ln, and we will just print area of rectangle plus a. So this we have taken. Now our class, this class is ready. So what we have to do, we have to create the object of this particular class here. But now, as it is having two constructors, so we will create two different objects. So I'm taking rect. R1 I am taking R1 equals to new rect, and this time I will take a single value. So the compiler, how the compiler will understand? Because it is having a single value, so it will be associated with this one. So it will assign this single integer value to this constructor. Now I am just going to create another constructor, another object I am taking. So R1 was the one object which we have taken, and R2 I am going to create another object, and here I am just going to take different values. So now it is having two different integers, so it will just associate this one. Now I am taking R1 dot area, so it will just calculate the area of rectangle with the help of the first constructor. Then R2 dot area, it will just calculate the area of rectangle with the help of the second constructor. This we have done. Now I'm just going to compile it, and now I'm just going to run it also. And here we will get two different areas. One would be 25 and another is 9. According why it is coming 9, let me check. There must be some error, because it should not come 9, it should come something else. Okay, I have taken 3 and 4, so it should come. Okay. Here I have not changed actually. It should be len equals to x and breadth equals to y. Then only it will consider the y value to the BRE, and then it will calculate the area. Okay, so now I'm again going to compile it, and I will just run this program. So now you can see that the area of rectangle from the two different like functions have been calculated. Okay, so this was the concept of constructor overloading. In the case of constructor overloading, we do these things. After that, the method overloading program we will do. And when we talk about method overloading, that means using multiple methods in same multiple methods in the same program. Like we were using multiple constructors in the same program, similarly we can also use the multiple methods in the same program. So method means in which we have return type and everything, so those are the methods like functions. But here also the condition arises that same name and same class, but different parameter list we will take. So basically when we talk about method overloading, it takes the concept of polymorphism. So polymorphism basically takes one name and multiple forms. So I'm just going to create a program for that, and I'm taking for the polymorphism, I'm just taking the name also polymorph only, or I'm taking the name method overload. Okay, I am taking the name method overload, and this I have taken. Now I'm coming to the editor. So here I am taking class method overload, and this is the main class. So we will just take public static void main. Okay, so here we have taken public static void main, and okay, fine. So after that, I'm taking class. Another class I'm taking overload. Overload. I'm taking another class, and here what we will do in this particular class, we will basically create overloaded methods. So suppose I'm taking at this time I'm not taking any. I'm not taking any constructor, but I will take only the method. So void this I am taking a method. Now this is a method, and here this time I'm not having any parameter list. So suppose I'm just going to print system dot out dot println, and I'm going to print no parameters, because here we are having no parameters. So after that I will just take another method or the same name, because in the case of method overriding, what we have to do, we have to take same name and same parameter list, same name of the method, same class, but different parameter list. Yes, but different parameter list we have to take. So this time I'm going to create one more method, but this time we will take some parameters, different parameters. So here I'm taking int a and int b. I'm taking two parameters, and this time I will just display the values of a and b. So value of a I'm taking, and plus a I'm taking. then I am taking value of b. B I am taking, and plus b I am taking. Here I am just taking slash n. Okay, so it's giving error here. Array. Uh, system dot out. It is giving error in system dot out dot println. Wow. Method overload and the error system dot out dot print I have taken. Okay, I have written the right spelling also. Wow, then also it is giving error. Anyways, I'm just going to print the value of a, and here I'm going to print value of a, and then I will just print the value of b. So I'm just taking print ln, and I'm just taking print ln, then b. So the value of b will take. Now one more method I like, method overloading is similar to the constructor overloading. We can take multiple methods of the same name in the same class, but with different parameter list. So here I'm just going to take this third time, and this time I will again take another parameter, like I'm taking double I am taking. I is a variable, so we'll just print the value of I here. Okay, so I'm just going to print the value of I. Okay, so now we have done these all things. So now what I'm going to do, I will just create the object of this particular class, the another class, the overload class which I have taken. So here I'm taking overload ob I'm taking, or ov I'm taking. Ov equals to new overload. So here I'm not having any parameters and everything, like I'm not having any constructor. So this is the default constructor only. Always remember, if we are having any constructor in the class or not, then also we have to take this statement whenever we are creating the objects. So ov dot disk, first of all I am taking this. This will consider the first one. Then I'm taking ov dot disk, and this time I'm taking 3 and 4 this time. Then I'm taking ov dot disk, and this time I'm taking some floating values. Why I'm taking floating values? Yeah, because we are taking this double. So the compiler will do what? Basically, the compiler will check first of all for the method which is not having any parameter list. Then it will check for the method which is having some integer values, and then it will check for the method which is having some double value. So this way we can just do, and you can see this program is now in the same screen. You can just take the screenshot, and I'm just going to compile it. So there are no errors, and now I'm just going to run this program. So I'm just going to run this program. Okay, so you can see the output is coming here properly. First of all, it's coming no parameters, then it is coming value of a, value of b, and then value of I. So this way we can just work with different methods in the same class. So the last concept which I am going to discuss today is the concept of this reference. Okay, so basically this reference is when we use when do we use the constructors? We use the constructors whenever we are referring the objects, whenever we want to create the object of some class. Whenever we are working with a variable, this reference always work there. So all the instance method receive an implicit argument. So all the instance method receive an implicit argument called this, which can be used inside any method to refer the current object. So basically this reference is used for referring the current object, and if you have noticed what basically happens whenever we are working with a program, let me come here, the program window. So whenever we are working with a program, like here we have taken the program of, which program should I consider? This one. Okay, let me show you first of all. Like in this program, the rectangle program, what we have done, we were taking some variables here, and those variables we have taken here also. But you can see for these variables we are taking some variables in the parameter, but the name of the variable is different. Here I am taking len, and here I am taking l. So if we want to take name same on both the sides, like here also and here also, then we have to use this reference. So I'm going to create I'm going to create a class book details, a program of book details, and we will work with this reference in this particular program. So here I'm going to make it. First of all, I'm just going to create a class that would be the main class book details. Public static void main. string args. After that, what we are going to do, we will basically create our main method. Sorry, not main method, the another class basically which we want to take. That we will take. Okay, fine. So I'm taking class I'm taking here, and here I will just take some instance variable. Suppose book ID I'm taking bid, string I'm taking name of the book, and float or double I'm taking price I'm taking in double, and integer I'm taking pages. So I've taken four data types here, four variables. These are instance variables. So I was creating a program for book details, and the concept of this reference is basically, I'm writing it here, this reference is considered to the concept of, like in the case of this reference, we do not have to take multiple variable names. If we want to take, we can take directly the name of the variable as we have taken in the instance variable. Like I'm taking void display, I'm taking a method as void display, and here in the void display method I'm just taking int bid. Now I'm taking the same name as it is taken here. So if we want to do this, that I want to take same name, in that case what is necessary, it is necessary to use a this reference. So we will use that here. First of all, I will take the variable, the parameters, and I will take the name same as the instance variables. So into pages, so I have taken all the names same. So in this case, what we have to do, we have to take the this reference. So here I have taken this dot, and this is taken on the left hand side. This is always taken on the left hand side. This dot name equals to name, then this dot price equals to price, and this dot pages, okay, equals to pages. So the right hand side ones are the variables which we have taken on the parameter list. Here in the parameter list which we have taken, these are on the right hand side, and the left hand sides are side ones are these particular variables which we have taken as instance variable. So this way we can initialize with the help of this reference, and we can take the name of the variables same on both the ends. Now because I have created this method as display method, so I'm just going to print the details. So I'm taking system.out.println, and I'm just taking first of all book ID. Okay, so for book ID I will just take bid. So bid was a variable name, so we have taken that. Another, okay, this okay, let me just, this way we can just take everything, we can just print everything. So bid, then we are having book name, that is book name, and here I am taking name, then I'm taking price, and then we will take number of pages, number of pages. So here I am taking pages variable, that's all. Then we have now created this particular method, and yes, this we are basically doing in the book class, and we have already done it. Now what we have to do, we have to just create object of this book class. So book equals to new book. So we have taken the name here, book, and this is the name of the class with the capital B, and this is the object. All the, like all the alphabets are small here. So this one and this one are different. This book, you can see this is the name of the constructor, and this is a default constructor because we are not taking any constructor in this program. So if we are taking this, that means the default constructor, it is the default constructor. Then I'm taking book dot display. So this book dot display will basically display all the details which we have taken here. So this book dot display is having some parameters, and the values of the parameters have to be passed from here. So I'm taking integer. The name is like I'm taking Java programming, and the name is in a string, so I have taken double quotes for a string. Then the price is in double, so I'm taking the price is price in the decimal numbers. Then the number of pages, that is integer I have taken. So suppose I have taken the number of pages like this. So now what is basically happening, we have already provided all the parameters. So what will happen, as soon as this function will be called, this method will be called, the book id will be assigned to this, the name to this, the price and the pages, and then right to left assignment it will be assigned here and will be printed. So now I'm just going to compile and run it. Okay, I'm just going to run this. So you can see all the details are coming very nicely. Everything is here now, book ID, name and everything. So this way we have used the this reference, and the this reference is basically used for the purpose of using the variable name same on both the ends, left hand side and right hand side. So after this we have done few of the concept the concept of classes and everything. Now I just want to come back to this slide, and you can see we have covered the slide.